Got the Yeet hat on, and I'm ready to talk about some wrestling, baby. We are here talking about tonight's Saturday night's main event. I hope you guys are having a happy Memorial Day weekend. Again, my name is Daniel Strunk. Welcome to Quick Time Reactions. So yeah, let us get into talking about Saturday night's main event. I'm going to take the hat off because my eyes are being shrouded by the darkness. But yes, got this Jeyuso hat when I went to Backlash in St. Louis. So, first up was the tag match between CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. One of the things that I wanted to talk about immediately was, oh yeah, this is on NBC, so I was watching it on Peacock, and a lot of commercials. A lot of commercials on this show. So the parts of the match that I was able to see, it was pretty good. Good back and forth between our teams. Sammy got the first stint, and then Punk got a stint, and they both looked pretty good. Seth and Braun looked awesome. We get towards the tail end of the match, and Braun looks like he's going to go for his super spear, but Seth Sammy looks like he's going to go for a haluva kick, but Seth stops him, but Punk takes care of Seth. Sammy hits the exploder in the corner. It looks like he's going to go for a haluva kick again, but Heyman grabs Sammy's foot, and then we see someone jump over the barricade and splash Punk through the barricade, and it's Bronson Reed. Now, if you guys had seen my prediction video that I put out earlier on in the day, you would have known that I would have said, Bronson may come back and help Seth and Braun, but I did not think that would happen tonight. I didn't think that would happen tonight. And so Braun is able to hit his super spear to pin Sammy and win the match for his team. By the way, 1-0 in my predictions. Bronson then gets in the ring, and it looks like him and Braun are going to fight, but Seth calms everything down by giving Bronson a hug, and they are a team. And that is further cemented when Punk tries to attack Heyman in the ring, and Punk gets laid out with a tsunami. So if this is the angle to write Punk out to not be at Saudi Arabia, I understand do it on a big show, but do it a little closer to the event. Just do it a little closer to the event. Come on now. But still, very much looking forward to how this dangerous alliance, shall we call them, between Seth, Braun, and Bronson, see how that kind of flourishes and develops. Next up, we have Zelinavega versus Chelsea Green for the Women's United States Championship. Pretty good match between these two. Again, for the parts that I was able to watch. Really good back and forth. Chelsea kind of taking the majority of offense. But Zelina was able to make a comeback. She goes for the 619, but gets caught up in the ropes. And the crowd, kind of poo-poo that a little bit, but she is able to win the crowd back by hitting a massive code red off of the second rope to pin Chelsea and retain her women's U.S. title. So overall, I think it was a pretty good match. Shame for the fumble on the 619, but it's still a pretty good match, and I think that finish pretty much made up for it, in my opinion. We then go to John Cena versus rtruth. Now, I made the claim in my predictions video that it was for the title. It is not. It is non-title. So Cena, of course, comes out, nothing on the Tron, just his name, walks slowly to the ring, and then we hear Cena's music play again, And out comes rtruth, does the whole like old school Cena entrance, like throwing the hat out in the audience, doing the John Cena symbol, and of course Cena's having none of that. Attacks Truth before the bell even rings, just pummels him, hits his moves of doom. Goes for an AA, but Truth slips out, hits Cena's moves of doom, and he does hit an AA on Cena, but Cena does kick out. Cena says, screw this, goes outside, grabs the belt. It looks like he's going to hit a belt shot on Truth, but it appears as though he's having second thoughts. And he gives the belt back to the ref. R-Truth's like, yeah, we have the old Cena back. Goes to shake his hand, immediately hoofs Cena, or Cena hoofs Truth in the balls, and hits an AA and wins the match. So it was pretty much predictable. And yeah, it was a fun time. It was a little fun match for Cena to have, and it was just a fun time. And by the way, 3-0 in my predictions, and I should have said 2-0 after the women's U.S. title match. We then go to the steel cage match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Again, for the match that I was, able to see because of the commercials. I thought these two had a very physical cage match. Really good back and forth. One of the things that I wanted to point out was during the intro to the steel cage match, Jesse Ventura, who was on commentary and of course was there on the night, he was talking over the rules of the of the cage match, and I'm like, Jesse, Bubby, I know you haven't done this in a while, but like sometimes you just need to be quiet and let the ring announcer explain stuff. just be quiet for a little bit, okay? So I thought that was hysterical. But again, really good back and forth between these two. Drew actually hits a South of Heaven on Priest, and that gets a 2 count. Drew looks like he's going to go for a Claymore on a steel chair that ended their Mania match a couple months back, but Priest gets out of the way and hits Priest a couple times with the chair and hits a South of Heaven. Priest looks like he's going to go for a cover, but stops himself, grabs the chair from out of the corner, and hits a concerto on McIntyre. And Priest is able to signal the ref to open the door to the cage and walk out of the cage. Priest wins this cage match and probably most likely ends the rivalry off. And Drew, not even getting on the stretcher, walks, but slowly but surely, walks out of the arena, and 4-0 in my predictions. Which brings us to our main event. One of the few times that main event Jeyuso will actually live up to his moniker. Jeyuso versus Logan Paul. Again, for the match that I was able to see, it was a pretty solid match between the two of them. I loved how Logan Paul was able to expose the middle turnbuckle and then nonchalantly but very casually discard that turnbuckle pad onto the outside. I thought that was really, really smart. I loved the catch from the buckshot that Logan does into the super kick. I thought that was really good. Finish comes when Jay hits the splash, and ref's gonna go down and count the pin, but Cena, who earlier on in the show after his match had a backstage altercation with Jay, and Cena's like, the last time we fought or we faced off, and Jay's like, yeah, because I threw you out of the Royal Rumble, and Cena's like, yeah, and I remember that, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on the next time that you and me are gonna fight or face off against each other. And, you're facing up against Logan Paul, And, it would ruin wrestling if you were to lose that title to a YouTuber. I was like, I'll be seeing you around. And sure enough, Cena came out, pulled the ref out, and I thought for sure that was going to be a DQ, but apparently not. So Cena is beating up on Jey, but then Cody Rhodes, he decided to kind of cut his vacation at Disney and Universal short because he was down in Florida for, I saw the pictures circulating on the internet. He decides to come out and take care of Cena, and this gives Jey the window of opportunity to hit another splash and pin Logan to retain his world title. So clean sweeped it 5-0 on my predictions. And sure enough, Cody gets on the mic and says, as the credits are rolling for the episode, and he's like, "Hey, Cena, looks like you got yourself a little friend, Logan Paul. I got my friend, World Heavyweight Champ Jeyuso. We'll see you guys at Money in the Bank." And so we have our first non-Money in the Bank match confirmed. It is Cody and Jey versus Logan and Cena. And I did say that in my prediction video we might get the ball rolling potentially towards this 6-man that is purportedly going to happen. So will that 6-man happen? We do have a couple weeks left to build before Money in the Bank. So it'll be interesting to see if Travis Scott and Jimmy get involved in this so that it becomes a 6-man. We'll see. But that was tonight's Saturday night's main event. It was a good show. Very predictable show on my end. But it was a fun show nonetheless. Also, one more thing before I go is that WWE announced another weekend of shows, this time in Atlanta, and one of which is another Saturday night's main event on July 12th, and Evolution on the 13th. Well, July 12th is the same day as All In Texas. So I know, it's not a problem like this weekend, but, when that weekend comes around, I have to pick and choose my shows. So that'll be fun to do. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And yeah, AEW is not competition, right, guys? Right? But I'll deal with that when that weekend comes around. But again, really fun show tonight for Saturday night's main event. It was a really fun show, and I had a fun time watching it. So, in the meantime, guys, be safe out there, and remember, if there is somebody else, cosplaying as your wrestling gimmick, then I think it would be perfectly acceptable to give them a belt shot. I'm just saying. And I will see you guys next time.